AOL code, texting turned gold, now the stories unfold. From dial-up dreams to LinkedIn kings, he taught the world how to build through strings. It's the Max method, no guessing, just growth. 4 steps deep, he's coached them both. Top earners, big burners, trainers and pros. Max lit the fire, now everyone knows. Started with a spark, now the blueprint's live. Thousands trained and they multiply. From Facebook chats to LinkedIn leads, he plants the seeds, then watches them succeed. Mentor to coach is the guide for the great. Author, speaker, shaping fate. You don't just follow Max, you duplicate. That's how legends elevate. It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game. It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game.
Okay, let's change the game. We're starting a new month, and a lot of things are happening on LinkedIn. A lot of things are happening on Facebook. So let me first jump over here. And I have one of my coaching students. So basically, let me explain what's happening here. Talking to a woman that when you look at a profile, talks about marketing and selling a lot of things. So we sent her this. So Anastasia, I'm familiar with those companies and admire your ability to juggle so many things. My original mentor suggested that less is always more, and he was so right. If you'd like to learn how you can make much more money doing less things, please reach out to me. And the bottom line is she's done. She's done. So, Joseph, what do you got?
Hey Max, how are you?
Good.
I had Chris Evelina that responded back to me, and he asked, I just was wondering what I should do with him.
Okay.
You all set for the fourth, Max? Or I don't know if he would be somebody good to go after, but he sounds like he does need something, and he's looking.
Okay. Okay. All right. So for the last 4 years, no motivation. I have to work strictly remote to keep an eye on my father. So what's the question?
I mean, should I keep up with him or send a motivational message to him?
Well, okay, but let's go beyond the motivational message. Okay, the question is, you have to decide at this point in time whether this is someone that you want to talk to. Okay? Because let's face it, you are looking to build a team.
Right.
Okay? Let me put it a different way. You're a football coach. Okay? You need a quarterback and you need a tight end that can catch a ball. Okay?
So he wouldn't be the one.
Exactly. Exactly.
He just responded back, and I haven't had too many people respond back, so I thought, maybe.
Well,
But I see where you're coming
okay.
from.
Well, listen, you know that old expression, never say never. So if you were having a conversation with him, the first thing you would do is the question we want to know. He says, I have to work strictly remote. So the question is, what kind of remote work have you been doing? Now, you want to keep a conversation going. You send him this. So what you could do light at the end of the tunnel. Copy that. Okay, so we're giving a motivation. Now, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. You've identified the need, and we're giving him, you're throwing him a life raft. Now, if he comes back and he says, well, I haven't had any, then you come back with, when I use the term network marketing, I'm referring to companies like Amway, Avon, Mary Kay.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, you're throwing that out to him. You're giving him one shot. See
Well, that
what?
looks good. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, anybody else got anything? Let me pop out of here. So let me look at my friend Ian. And we have to go through the dance. Now, Ian's in Australia.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine, Ian.
Okay, I've
So,
got here. Look,
what's the password we're using now? We don't know because it's not
There's
let.
a there's a max one, two, three, four,
Okay, let's see.
and two exclamation marks.
And two exclamation points.
Two exclamation marks after the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's see. All right, so
Is that working? No.
Well, it's, we've had so many of these that,
That's the one I was using.
okay, it keeps putting the other one in. So what we're gonna do, gonna grab this. And we're gonna come over here. See what this is all about cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no.
Cookies. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. This is kind of a funny story. Years ago, let's go back. Can you see the screen here?
No, there's no screen. I can only see your words.
What I did was went over to a private screen.
Now I've got LinkedIn sign in.
So here's the deal. The first time I went on the internet and decided I was going to start to train, we created a website and we started working with people. And I had people writing in, calling in with complaints. Because every time you go to a website, your computer picks up a cookie. I'm not talking about a chocolate chip cookie. I'm not talking about a, it's it puts a cookie on your computer so that when you go back to the website, your computer doesn't have to think. It can go right to that cookie. And I didn't know what a cookie was. So people started asking me about cookies. I said, what are you talking about, cookies? What's a cookie? And I mean, we're talking about 1996. Okay, and I'm learning about cookies. And so on a regular basis, what you have to do is you have to go in to your settings and you need to clean out your temporary internet files because every time you go to a website, your computer is saving that. And some of you have been online for maybe a couple of years. You've never cleaned your temporary files. So what's happening for you and what we're dealing with is every time I go into someone's account, and that's the reason that I use Firefox to get into everybody's accounts. So it's different than my regular computer is on Google Chrome. So when I want to get into somebody's account, it saves everybody's profile. For example, if I came over here and let me ask John. John, did she ever get back to you?
I think she has.
Okay.
My internet's been down and I just was able to get back on LinkedIn and I see a message from CJ.
Okay, let's go over and take a look. So Ian, we got to figure out how we can reconnect. But by the way, let me do you know a Cindy Wright? She used to be in Zango years ago. That name?
Scentsy, right?
Yeah, Cindy Wright.
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now let's pop over here to messaging. And Ian, we're going to have to figure out how to get around all of this stuff. And here's CJ.
Yeah, there's CJ.
So she gave you a thumbs up. Well, it's better than a thumbs down.
Yeah. It's not quite so talkative, but
Okay. So what you did here was, would you like to know more about what we're doing? And she gave you a thumbs up. Okay. Now,
I wonder if that's a thumbs up to my question or to the GIF.
right. Right. So let's have a little fun with this, okay?
Oh, okay.
I mean, listen, you're having a blast talking to this woman, right?
Oh, yeah. She's been real talkative.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to come up here. Two. Okay. All right. So we're going to go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what your thumbs up meant.
Perfect.
Let's give her what she wants. Now, Is this the one that, is looking, to get a divorce?
No, she was looking for a career change.
Okay, all right.
Remember, she's been in the hospitality industry for years.
Okay.
Perfect.
Damn cough. Okay. Never assume. And you can have fun in the process.
Wonderful. Thank you, Max.
So let's see what she says. There was a situation that happened last week where one of my students was talking to somebody that was equally as talkative as CJ was. And then, so we asked the question, would you like to know more about what we're doing? And this is after, literally a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and, lots of texting back and forth. And he comes back and he goes, I think so. And so what we did was we did the same thing. We did this. You think so? You think so? To be honest, I would have expected a little more of an enthusiastic answer
Sure.
than, I think so. And, so we went and we wrote, I'm prepared to roll up my sleeves and help you because you have the skills to be incredibly successful. But with all due respect, I'd appreciate a little more enthusiasm in your answer than I think so. And the guy wrote back, he says, listen, I apologize. He said, I was sitting in traffic and, I can't wait to find out what this is all about. Here's my phone number. Call me. And so remember, this is a medium where you are communicating with other people.
Sure.
Okay. And the more they type, the more they're interested in what you have going on. Remember, you're looking for a quarterback. You're looking for a tight end that can catch passes. You're looking for people that have certain skills. Just because they have the skills on their resume doesn't mean they have the skills in real life. And so but on the other hand, let me be clear here. If they're not the best typists and they're not the best communicators on here, that doesn't mean they couldn't be great in your business.
She's answered.
You're kidding.
No, go up and click on her name.
Wow. Now you're talking.
Huh, wonder what she's doing on the side.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, let's find out.
Okay. Okay.
2 side businesses.
Okay. Again, let's have a little fun. So we're going to come back. Oops. Okay. So we're going to come back over here. I copy this.
She's spinning a lot of plates.
Okay, we'll do it this way. Let's look at her profile again. Looks like me. So we're going to go here. I knew it. Again, conversation. So let's come back up to what she said. I have alternative revenue streams. What are the two side businesses?
I should read your instead of you. Yeah. So conversation, then the question.
Always. And what the best way to do it is think of the question first. Think of the question first. Then come back and start to build up the conversation. And sometimes when we start building up the conversation, the question at the end changes. Okay. So that's so now there's a couple of things. Okay. So what are the two revenue streams? What are they?
Yeah, that's the key question.
Right. And then again, the two alternative streams, they're not enough to sustain full-time income. Okay, now what if and the best way to do this, depending upon what the answer is, you can say, if you could replace one of those alternative income streams, or if you could replace both of those alternative income streams with one that would enable you to replace both of them, but would enable you to quit your job. And of course, we would type it out a lot. In other words, if you could replace both of those income streams and your full-time job,
Right, right.
one thing, would you be willing to take a look at it? But I got to tell you, but remember, we know she knows something about network marketing.
Oh, guaranteed. If she's been in the hospitality, with Hilton, she's been prospected by network marketers.
I remember years ago, I was speaking at a Shaklee convention in San Diego. And I love San Diego.
I do too.
So I got there like 4 days early. And the hotel where the convention was next to the marina. So I went over and I stayed over on I can't think of the name of that island.
Oh, I know where you mean.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I stayed over there for like 4 days.
Coronado Island.
Coronado, right. And then when I checked into the hotel, the concierge, said to me, "So you're here for the Shaklee convention?" And I said, "No, not exactly. I'm actually doing a social media training." And what was interesting was back then, Shaklee had no social media tools. I mean, we're talking about 2003, 2004. So the concierge said to me, we have a contest here at the hotel. And the staff puts in $10. And we have about 200 people that put $10 into a pool. And whoever collects the most business cards from the network marketing distributors that are here, wins the pot.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, that's too funny.
no, yeah, because every they're all pitching, they're all pitching the staff.
They're pitching everybody.
That's right. That's right. And yet, see, here's the thing. When I was building TPM and we go to Dallas, and a lot of times they'd have the convention at the airport at the DFW.
Yep.
So everybody's running around pitching all the help and everybody else. What I would do was I would get on my computer and I do a search for people in the Dallas area. Okay.
Okay.
And the strategy and the script was, let's see what she says. Okay.
For your yard.
Just so you know, there are stories behind both of them.
I bet there is. I bet we get a story.
Can you give me okay, so one is called Cards and
Another
Yard and More.
one.
So again, what are we doing? We're learning about the other person.
Yeah.
So to get back to my story, what I would do is I'd go online and I'd find somebody on AOL that was online that had a halfway decent profile. And I'd go, hi, I'm in Dallas for a conference and a mini vacation. And I'm staying at the DFW airport. And I noticed that you're online. And could you recommend a great steakhouse? Because I love steak. And they would come back and they'd give me a couple of recommendations. And this was before you had Google search, where you could go on and you could find this stuff. And I'd say, thanks, I really appreciate it. And they would always come back. And what's the conference about? And so I would end up bringing people from the surrounding area over to the hotel to the event.
Oh, God.
And to tell you the truth, it used to drive Jeff Olson and Eric Worre crazy, because at these events they want you in the room, okay, which is where you want to be. You want to be with your team.
Sure.
Okay, but the leaders, you're going to notice, are not always in the room. The readers are out there in the corridors, talking to people, their prospects and everything else. They wanted me in the room. And, but when you go to the same, I'm going to all the events. So every event's the same. Although I have to say that even though every event is the same, you all want to go to as many events as you can, because you can hear the same thing over and over again, but it always triggers another idea, another thought.
Sure.
But I'm spending a small portion of my time out there. You know, I'd meet a prospect. We'd have a cup of coffee in the cafe, in the restaurant or something. And I never left an event where I didn't sign up at least 8 or 9 people.
Oh, Max.
And yeah. So remember, you all have access to so many people. So that's it. We do yard cards. Ah,
Oh, not network marketing at all.
right. Okay. So it's time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we got to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, to cut.
She's having fun talking too.
I can't tell you how many people freak out. Oh my God, I'm just so, I hate to ask that question because they stop talking to me.
Let's see what
Well,
she,
let's see what she says.
yeah.
Tick, tick, tick. Now she's going to answer in the next, let's say 30 seconds.
I would bet.
So let's count it down. We got 10 seconds.
Are you recording this, Max?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is one to follow.
15 seconds, 20 seconds, 22 seconds, 23 seconds, 24 seconds, 24 and a half seconds. Well, who knows what she's in the process of doing. She hasn't even seen it yet. But just, folks, just imagine, I mean, doing this 10 times a day. That's when you get to this point, and all of you are going to get to this point. The way you get to this point is when you're talking to people, you're selective about the people that you talk to. When you're talking to people at this level, when you're talking to 3 or 4, this is where it gets to be addicting. This is where it gets to be fun. Now, we know that you know something about network marketing, and we want her to come back and tell us. And frankly, we're almost looking forward to her telling us, oh, been there, done that, tried that. It's okay. It's part of, oh, here she goes.
Ah, here we go. She did try. So total disaster. Oh, she thinks it's a sales business, which Avon is.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, now, Okay, now,
Yeah.
God, I love this. John, I should be paying you for this.
Isn't this great, Max? Ah,
Okay, now, look what she's telling you here. She's telling you she really isn't ruined for sales. She's just ruined for going, you know, I was flooded with calls. So
she's telling us she's an extreme extrovert.
right, right. So now now it's down to discussing sales. Okay, now it's down to discussing sales.
Right.
Um,
She thinks it's about selling products. There's a correction needed up at the top. There you go, product. See, profunct.
Product.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see, 3 product eligibility.
Now, she's going to come back and she's going to say yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this here for now.
Okay. Exactly. Okay. We got another yes.
Now, literally, we could probably sit here for another hour.
I bet we could.
And at the end, you'd be showing her your business. So this is going to be an excellent, excellent case study. And what I want all of you to ask yourself is this question. And the answer is there anything that we did? Is there anything that we said that you can't be doing? And the answer is no. The answer is no.
Well, thank you so much, Max.
I'm telling you, I should care.
Yeah.
And again, so we're gonna send her a little something later, along motivating line, and catch up with me in the morning. And this is somebody you'll be showing this woman your business before the 4th of July.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And
Okay.
as for the rest of you, tonight at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing another demonstration very similar to this one. In fact, I wish everybody had been on this one, because this is exactly how it works. You are sitting in front of a virtual gold mine. A virtual gold mine. You know, almost from the get-go, who would be a great prospect and who wouldn't be. And it doesn't take very long to find out. And then you just need to learn more about the other person. Her perception of network marketing goes all the way back to her Avon experience. Let's see what else she wrote.
Well, she writes a lot.
I love it.
Love it.
All righty, folks. We'll be back tonight at 9 o'clock. And another terrific example. So until next time, best of luck in building your business. God bless. You want to be having 5 conversations like this every day.